And welcome, everybody, to another episode of Come Play With Us, Danny, the horror movie review podcast hosted by myself and my sister Megan. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure to go to our YouTube page at Come Play With Us, Danny Show. Hit the subscribe and notification bell when new episodes drop. We have a classic horror movie review show today. We're a week late, but it's still summertime, and what better way to celebrate that is by reviewing I Know What You Did Last Summer.
We apologize.
We apologize. The holidays do that.
Yes.
The holidays do that. If you haven't seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, that means you're very young and you haven't seen this movie yet.
That means that we're ancient and you're very young.
Means we're very ancient, yes.
Yes.
I Know What You Did Last Summer is a 1997 American slasher film directed by Jim Gillespie, written by Kevin Williamson himself, the writer of Scream, and starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe. Is it Phillippe or Philippe? Phillippe. And
Phillippe.
Of course, Freddie Prinze Jr. himself. This movie was one of those movies that really kind of came after Scream and was a part of that new wave of
genres,
slasher horror, teen slasher movies. And you had like Urban Legend, you had this movie, you had Bloody Valentine, and a whole bunch of other ones as well. I thought this movie was stupid, honestly.
Okay.
I did. I thought it was very, very stupid.
Elaborate why you thought this movie was stupid.
It was a hit. It was a hit, though. It was a budget of $17 million, made over $100 million at the box office. I love horror movies. We both do.
Yes.
But when a trend happens, you have really dumb movies that follow this trend, and that's one scene in general, which is so stupid. You've got four pretty white people that hit a guy on the road that was walking in the road. You dump his body instead of calling the cops. Like it's a dumb present, like a dumb premise. It's
okay,
and except for Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, I hated them all. They're so unlikable, and I'm glad they all died by a hook, except for Jennifer Love Hewitt, who survived and went on to the sequel. But like,
Freddie Prinze Jr. didn't die.
Freddie Prinze Jr. didn't die too. That's right.
He was there. Yes,
he was there. But they're all dumb. They're all dumb characters, and
because they weren't likable, or
yes, because they weren't likable.
Okay,
and just the whole like, well, we hit somebody. You know what? Instead of the smart thing to do is call the authorities, call an ambulance because he might still be alive. Let's go dump his body and make our lives even more complicated as it is.
But why didn't they call the cops? What was the reasoning behind that? Do you know why?
Knocking back old grandpa's old cough medicine.
Yeah, well, Ryan Phillippe was drinking in the car.
Yeah, but listen. Get a DUI, and he's rich, so he's probably going to get off with a misdemeanor, maybe some community service, if that. Or go dump a body where now your DUI hit and run is now attempted murder, maybe manslaughter. So let's up the charges a little bit more, and maybe you get away with it. Maybe his body would float down to the bottom of the ocean. Maybe not. I love how Scary Movie, the Wayans Brothers movie, really parodied this because of how stupid the premise of this movie was. Like,
I agree.
But I will give it some credit. There were some good jump scares in this movie.
Maybe like 2.
But other than that, it was just 4 stupid white teenagers that need to get, and everybody got like slashed and gashed except for obviously Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. But like Brigitte Wilson,
Johnny
Sonny.
Galecki was one of the first to get off.
Yeah. Oh well, I always root for him to get murdered in a movie, anyways. Sarah
Anne
Michelle
Heche,
Gellar.
Anne Heche
And
was in this movie too. Rest in
yeah,
peace. She's not alive anymore, but she was in this movie too.
well, you don't know. She might still be alive.
What?
She might be in some government housing somewhere. That's for another show.
God, here we go.
But like her character, like the backwoods character she played,
she brought a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
which wasn't needed.
No, it wasn't. It was too. So
it's like if Kevin Williamson wrote this movie before, like, okay, Kevin Williamson probably wrote this movie while he was maybe writing Scream, or maybe right after he wrote Scream, and said, hey, you know what? I've got an idea for the Scream sequel, and started to write this movie, and looked at it and goes, I think this is kind of stupid, and said, you know what? I'm going to write it anyways, but it's just going to be a brand new movie. And he just took all the bad ideas from Scream and just used it for this movie.
You know, this is loosely based off a novel, right?
Yeah, but loosely is loosely, Megan. I mean,
okay, so I agree. You know,
and the killer is like he's wearing
he's grizzled old fisherman.
Yeah, I mean,
and he doesn't really have any type of presence. And okay, so I'm gonna have to agree with you. With the characters were okay. They're okay. No. Okay, for me, they were okay in the genre that we're doing this type of movie. Okay.
Yeah.
The premise was stupid.
Yes.
Because it took too long to try to tie everything together. And when you tied everything together, it didn't make any sense until you threw some dude whose girlfriend got killed, and then he died, and then her father came back and started killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But why though? It never said why.
Yes.
He killed everybody. It never did. It never said that. So I don't get that. It's kind of like the whole movie was satire to begin with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that as if it was satire, but almost like you can almost say it was like a comedy spoof, like a comedy. This is my favorite part of the movie, where I think it just goes to a whole another level of stupidness. Is where she goes, "What are you waiting for?"
Oh God, yeah, I hate that.
And then she does a little spin.
Yeah,
like I could watch that all day because it's just so stupid. And then, like when Anna Faris like spoofs it, not in Scary Movie.
Yeah, it makes it work.
It gets hit by a car.
Yeah,
that I could put that on repeat all day. Like, what are you waiting for? Twirl, wee.
My question is like, who the hell are you yelling at? Like that,
and why the twist and the turn? Why twirl?
Well, here's the other point is, so when she opened the trunk, for those who've never seen this movie, that's where you have Johnny Galecki in the trunk covered in crabs.
Yes.
It's not even within a couple minutes that she comes back to the car and he and the crabs are gone. That's not realistic. No. You can't just take a body with several marine life and just transport it somewhere else. Even in the scene where Ryan Phillippe gets killed upstairs at the pageant.
What are you waiting for?
And all of a sudden he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So the concept isn't, you know, I hate to say this, I almost like Urban Legend better.
You know what
I did last summer.
I agree with you on that. I liked Urban Legend more than I liked this movie.
It had a concept, and the ending tied in to what happened. Like, and for those who have never seen that movie,
you should.
Shame on you. You should. It's a good movie. I liked it. I'm trying to get steak out of my teeth. I think the concept of it, and Rebecca, I can't think of her last name now. She was the one that was the killer in the movie.
Yes.
But her boyfriend getting killed via one of
there's a
motive.
There was
no motive in this movie. There was no motive in I Know What You Did. And then they made a second one that I still know what you did last summer.
Yes.
And I still don't understand the motive.
I still know. Oh, I think in the second one, it was like the son of the fisherman.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the son. There's always a son in like the sequel if the father gets. Anyways, hey, look, if it's on, and you're
Background noise.
looking for a stupid popcorn horror movie to watch,
Yeah,
and
why
if you love those mid '90s, late '90s horror films that were rejuvenated by Scream, watch.
Which I actually do. I actually do like those movies.
There are
However,
some that are good,
yes,
and there are some that are very bad.
yes, and that is one of them.
And
I just and the sequel. I just don't understand the concept. I never understood the concept of it. And during the time frame, this did come around. Scream, and Scream by far is a better movie than this movie. It is anyway.
I think this one came out almost a year after, because I think Scream came out in '96, so this came out like a year after.
Okay.
So it was like as soon as Scream blew up, movie studios were like, okay, we got to get these teen slasher films out like ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
So these were coming out like hotcakes.
Apparently, there's a potential for "I Know What You Did Last Summer" 4 return.
Please don't.
I'm reading it right now. Jennifer Love Hewitt is excited about a potential return in "I Know What You Did Last Summer" 4. The film is still in early development despite a set release date for summer 2025.
I mean, maybe they can do it like they did Halloween. The
Make
requel.
It so much worse.
Yes, and have David Gordon Green direct it.
It looks like Hewitt and Prinze Jr. will probably be in it.
I still know after 20 years. I still know and haven't done anything after 20 years.
Well, and you have to realize these guys are our age now.
No,
and are they older?
I think they're older than we are.
Are they really?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Let me see how old Jennifer Love Hewitt is.
Jennifer Love Hewitt has to be around my age.
You might be right. She might be in her 40s. I know Freddie Prinze he's old.
She's a year older than I am. She's 45.
Oh,
for those who don't know how old I am, I've just dated myself. And Freddie Prinze is quite a little bit. He's
48.
almost
He's
48. Yeah.
He's 48.
All right, so they're a little bit around my range, a little bit higher. So
yes.
I hope not. I hope they don't make another one. I really just can't do it.
You never know. I think with the day and age we are with requels and reboots and sequels, yeah, it's coming. So.
Oh God, it's not. I'm not okay with that.
All right.
Okay. Well,
see it, you youngins. See it.
Yeah, it's on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi. I think that's where we saw it at. It was on Tubi.
If it's on Tubi, you know it's great. Oh,
God. They actually have some really good ones on there, though.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, let's do some movie news. VHS. I love VHS, the horror anthologies. Yes. VHS Beyond is coming to Shudder this Halloween. The following directors will be Jordan Downey, Christian Long, and Justin Long. Justin Martinez, Vitra Pal, Kate Siegel, and Jay Cheel. And they've already got the titles of their shorts or their stories for the anthology. Stork, Fur Babies, Live and Let Dive, Dream Girl, Stowaway are the movies coming out. So I haven't really seen. I think I stopped watching the VHS anthology after VHS 94. And I haven't seen the other. Yeah, I haven't seen the other ones, the VHS 99 and VHS 85, but I've heard VHS 85 is pretty good. So,
I'll have to check that one out because I've been I've seen it when I've scrolled through, just kind of watching to see what's going on. That one's popped up a couple times, so I might just watch that out of sheer curiosity. And if Justin Long's in a movie,
you're either gonna love him or hate him. You're either gonna love him or hate him.
He's either gonna die very quickly,
yes,
or he's gonna suck in the movie,
or he's just gonna become a character that you're gonna hate and you root for to die.
It's a shame though, because he's such a good actor though.
He's such a great comedic actor. That's why I don't know why this new career turn is like a horror guy it's just weird to me. It's
not working out well for him.
He needs to go back and play Bobby Long or whatever. So that's what he needs to do.
Oh my God.
Why Kevin Smith has not done a Bobby Long movie still is a question mark, because that would be such a funny movie.
that would be fantastic, actually.
It'd be a funny ass movie.
That's
So, in
probably one.
honor of the premiere of Longlegs, which is coming out this weekend, which
Mhm.
I've heard so far, it is the best horror movie of the year. It's getting strong reviews across the board from critics. We don't know from any audiences yet,
Mm-mm.
but it's one of the best this year. We're going to do 7 unsettling Nicolas Cage performances in honor of Longlegs.
Fantastic.
We'll do his character, Red Miller, and Mandy. I
Okay.
thought Mandy was a fantastic art house horror film. His performance in that was just unhinged, and it was almost like Nicolas Cage is a how do I say this? He's an auteur when it comes to his performances, because when he's on and locked
Mhm.
and loaded, he
Mhm.
is brilliant. And when he is just over the top, he's over the top, and you're like, okay, let's cage it down a little bit. But when he's in horror films,
Mhm.
he does a really great job of getting locked in and not really kind of go over the top. Now, we don't know how his performance is in Longlegs is yet. A lot of people are saying it is really good. He's really
Mhm.
creepy, and it's just Nicolas Cage. He could get an Oscar nod for this. But I thought his performance in Mandy was really good because he just is locked in and he's not over top. He's just a guy that's seeking revenge in Mandy. What did you think?
So I've seen snippets of Mandy. I've actually never seen the full movie, which
It
I know
is
that's
it is trippy as hell.
okay.
It's one of those films that you really have to pay attention to. It's not one of those, hey, I'm going to put it on, just has some noise in the background.
Mhm.
Put down your phone, get some popcorn, and watch it, because it's a very different cinematic experience when you're watching Mandy, because it's got so many elements. It's
Mhm.
got horror, it's got supernatural, it's got thriller. It's almost like it's a very art housey type horror film,
Okay.
but it's very good. Like, Mandy is one of those films that should be talked about more, because
Mhm.
it's a revenge horror film. It's one of those.
I think that I think Nicolas Cage has gotten better as far as his performances. So I know you're probably gonna maybe mention this. Willy's Wonderland was a movie that
Which is one of the performances I was about to mention. Yes.
yeah. So just to give my little insight on that real fast. So I went into it kind of with trying to have an open mind because Nicolas Cage has been hit or miss with me.
Mm,
And when it comes to I just kind of figured out this is gonna be a dumb movie. Maybe it's because he didn't talk through the
yeah.
movie, but his performances alone was it's supposed to be kind of like not even a satire type of movie. It is definitely on the lines of Five Nights of Freddy's. Like it's like a mocking of that movie, but it's a little more gory than Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hmm.
I don't did you ever get to see it?
I watched a little bit of Willy's Wonderland.
Mm.
No, Willy's Wonderland came out before Five Nights at Freddy's.
It did, which is why I was so kind of irritated that Five Nights at Freddy's had come out because William Wonderland didn't get the recognition I think it should have.
Hmm.
It's a stupid movie, but I think Nicolas Cage in that role was actually pretty decent. I wasn't annoyed with him the whole time because some of those roles that he has, you're like, just shut the fuck up. But I think it's because he again wasn't over the top in that
Yeah.
situation. I think that his roles now that he's doing, he's matured a lot better as far as I think he's meant for horror, to be quite
I
honest with
think
you.
I think he is too, and I agree with it. He's had a period of where he made a lot of like movies to get out of debt, so he was just
Mhm,
kind of phoning it in.
mhm.
But I think now it's almost like he's having a Cage-assance where
Okay, just
he's
sucks.
really, yeah, where he's really kind of going back to taking acting really seriously, because a lot of the movies that have come out lately with him in it have been really good. Like,
Mhm,
um the the I think it's like the Unimaginable Weights of something like that, where he played like a meta version of himself with Pedro Pascal. That movie, which was a
mhm.
comedy,
Yep.
great film. He did it great. And with Mandy and with have you seen the movie Pig? It's
I
Pig.
saw the ending of Pig.
Yeah, so these movies now that have been coming out, he's really kind of, I think he's kind of like, to me, it looks like he seems to love acting again, because there was a period of where he was just churning out movies like left and right,
Mhm.
like just turning them out and just kind of going over the top. The Wicker Man is one of those movies where it's just like,
Oh,
oh my God, dude. The bees, the bees are in my eyes.
That movie was just a shame that was even produced. Like
Yeah.
you went into that movie thinking that it was going to be actually a decent movie, and you were kind of left with what the fuck.
Yeah.
You
It
know, I
was a
wasn't.
very bad horror film.
It was.
Yeah.
I think Renfield was one of the ones that I
I
just was very
I
impressed.
yes, I think he did a great job as being Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
And a very bloodthirsty one too.
And I think he left the character open enough to let the main characters like shine. Like he
Yeah.
didn't overstep his boundaries when it came to just his character as Dracula, because his character wasn't meant to be the prime character in that movie. And I think that he was, I don't know, I went in with it with an open mind, and I actually enjoyed watching the movie. I don't think he outdid it at all whatsoever.
When I was looking forward to that movie because I think of the premise of it, you know, Renfield doesn't get a lot of credit the character. And when you
No.
have the premise of Renfield's trying to get away from Dracula because he's pretty much an abusive master or whatever, but then when you finally see, because they didn't really reveal a lot of Cage as Dracula until really I think the last like trailer or two before it was released, but when you finally see him in the movie, he's terrifying in some points.
Yeah.
He's really like terrifying as Dracula, and that's what I liked about his performance in that movie, is because he's like, you know, you have some actors that can play Dracula and they play kind of hokey and kind of over the top, but Cage did it as just a murdering psycho who tries to gaslight you and mind fuck you all the time because he's just a psychotic dude like that. So.
And that's one of the things I was kind of afraid of going into that movie, that he was going to be just dumb as Dracula. Yeah. I mean, Dracula's by far one of my favorite characters, you know, original and anything, but I think that he did the character like justice as far as like actually giving it a face and an actual persona in this movie. So,
all right, we'll move on. I did not know this, but there's a prequel to Rosemary's Baby coming out. Did you know?
Stop. What?
Yes. Paramount Plus is debuting a series called, I think it's a series. They're debuting a series prequel called Apartment 7A, which is a prequel to Rosemary's Baby. It's coming out this year.
Ow.
Yes. This premise of this movie is going to be set in 1965 in NYC. The film tells the story prior to Rosemary's Baby, exploring what happened in the apartment before Rosemary moved in.
Okay.
Yes.
Interested.
Why do this? I'm no. Listen, okay. We've had a few prequels which have worked.
Yes.
Okay? The first Omen.
Yes.
It's worked. I don't know if this is going to work.
It's not going to. And the reason I say this is not going to is because the original movie is so old to begin with, and there's no reason why you should be trying to connect something else now to a movie that's made in the fucking 70s.
And why? What story do you need to tell?
It wasn't the apartment.
Yeah, I don't know why.
How are you going to tie that in? Like,
yeah,
the first Omen was good because they gave a backstory about Damien's mother. Like that was fantastic, and they set it in the times of when the original movie came out. Fantastic. It had something to do with the original film. Why would you make a film about the place?
It's about somebody else that lived in the apartment. So I guess whoever lives in that apartment gets impregnated by the devil, and then they have ceremonies or something like that. I don't know. It just seems like a stupid. Seems like a stupid.
Come on.
I know.
Okay.
All right. I think we talked about The Bride. It's the new Frankenstein movie coming out starring Christian Bale. Have you seen the picture of Christian Bale as Frankenstein?
I have not. Do you have the picture?
I have the picture. I'm just warning you right now. I don't know.
Is this a Bill Skarsgård Crow type of situation that I'm going to be upset with? I am. Okay, I can tell just by your reaction.
I'm going to put a disclaimer. It's almost like if character and Jared Leto's Joker had a baby and then farted on it, because that's what it looks like. If you can see it, I'll zoom in a little bit more.
Why does he look like a fuckboy with stitches?
I don't know. And
Why?
I think this interpretation is supposed to be like a modern version. No, it's
No,
not. No, it's
stop.
not a modern. I'm sorry, it's not a modern version.
A
It's
1930s?
1930s. Yeah, he's looking for a companion. So I'll read the premise. Yeah, the upcoming film sees a lonely Frankenstein travel to 1930s Chicago, seek the aid of Doctor Euphoronus. Yeah, Euphoronus in creating a companion for himself. The two reinvigorate a murdered young woman in The Bride Is Born. Why does he have hope tattooed on his chest? He looks like
Let me see the photo again.
He looks like the Joker from Suicide Squad. That's what it looks like.
Who's directing this film? Was it Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Yes, I believe it is.
Why does he have tattoos?
This is courtesy of Bloody Disgusting, by the way.
So, thank you for Bloody Disgusting for
yeah, I don't know why he has tattoos. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Pass.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm passing.
I'm good. Thanks. That makes me nauseous to even look at that. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have said this before time and time again. Stop fucking up original things.
Well, here's the thing though. I'm okay with like doing a period piece like this, like Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I'm not okay when you take a classic movie monster and you try to
modernize it.
But not even modernize it, because the movie's set in the 1930s, but don't try and make him something he's not. And he's like the way, I haven't seen a trailer yet. Nothing's come out yet of it. It's just that picture. The way he looks at it, he just looks like a fuckboy. Like they're romanticizing.
That's what he looks like.
As this tatted up, almost like he looks like Bill Skarsgård's The Crow and the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker, Suicide Squad. You don't need to do that. And how is he going to be portrayed in the movie? Because in the classic Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein is still Frankenstein from the first Frankenstein movie, where he's, you make woman. Like Bale, I love Bale. Christian Bale is a great actor.
He's a fantastic actor.
Just curious how he's going to be portraying Frankenstein. I'm curious. You know what I mean? And when does Frankenstein have product in his hair?
He doesn't.
Because he's like got the slick back hair.
And in the 30s, you didn't have tattoos like that either. Like, so I don't understand. Like, I understand they're trying to set it in that time frame.
Hope. But you don't need to put hope on Frankenstein.
No. I would be okay. So I don't want anything to do with the movie, but I would be interested to see more photos of how they're going to do Bale in this movie. That's the only thing I would be interested to see. Is I would be interested to see what they're going to do for him.
So would I, because I really want to see how he's going to portray that.
Sorry, I have a small.
It's okay. It's all right. Great time. And lastly, we have some melancholy news. Actress Shelley Duvall passed away today at the age of 76. So we wish her and her family thoughts and prayers.
Condolences to her friends and family.
Shelley Duvall, of course, was one of the main stars of the horror classic The Shining and many other movies too as well. So
she was fantastic, and the last several years were not very good to her. And I know everybody's seen her in the, in the news, and she was, not looking too well and had mental health issues. But she was one of the original Scream Queens. But yes, condolences to her family and her friends.
Yes, and that is it for movie news. I know you got some Halloween Horror Nights stuff.
I do. So for those who have been keeping up Halloween Horror Nights, they have dropped another. That's fantastic. They have dropped another house. We're looking, or for who isn't, I guess one of them is Quiet Place. They've dropped Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And just recently they did Insidious. And I've just lost it now. Insidious. What is it? Insidious. Oh, The Further, which I'm not sure why. So if you guys have ever followed them on Instagram or Facebook, they have dropped a new trailer. It's just a bunch of people screaming in the background. The Scream early tickets, for those who get those, which I am one of those people, and I think you are too, they have dropped Scream early tickets. The prices have gone up since last year. They are now $55 instead of $35. So it's fine. We just got ours because we're going to be going in there. But for those who don't know what Scream early tickets are, it actually gives you extra access to the parks before everything opens. If you get into the park and you have this ticket, you get to go into a holding area, choose whatever houses you guys want to go to first. They will kick everybody else out of the park, and you get to go to several houses before everybody comes back in at 6. So
you get to drink early too, which is cool too.
You get to drink early too, yes. But I do suggest getting these tickets. It's worth it. I know that a lot of times that you'll go into houses during the day when it's still light outside, but it beats the crowds and everybody trying to get back into the park, and that way you can get stuff done. I mean, we've gotten 3 or 4 houses done before 6 o'clock. So I would suggest doing that.
Yeah, the amount of houses that we went through last year was pretty dope because we got through a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we got through the whole park within like 4 hours, I think.
Okay. I'm excited for the houses this year. I know a lot of the houses that were first dropped are some of the original houses, excuse me. And the last couple ones have been movie ones, even though they're not the most exciting and scary ones. I am actually excited to see them.
I am not looking forward to the Ghostbusters one.
I feel like I'm going to be disappointed by that house.
I am too, because for Halloween Horror Nights, I want to be scared. I don't want to like laugh. I mean, if they make it entertaining, maybe, but like Ghostbusters isn't really all that scary, let's be honest. So I don't know how they're gonna, unless they try and make it like Chucky's Scream Zone last year, because Chucky's wasn't that scary. It was kind of comical.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know how you're gonna see if the only thing I can think of is, which they're probably not going to do, is you set the Scream Zone as Ghostbusters Part 1, and maybe bits of Part 2, because Part 2 had that, the River of Blood when they went into, and Vigo and all that stuff. Remember remember when Winston went underneath on the train tracks, like underground, like that was scary. Like if they did stuff like that,
They're not going to.
See, then you're just gonna make it like too kiddie.
They're gonna base it off the last movie, which was the Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire. Then no,
I saw.
I know
you haven't seen yet. You need to see it.
I will.
It is going to be based on that last film. Now,
then it's not scary.
I know. I wish they would have done it on the original movie. That would actually have been fantastic. And for people that have, nowadays that have never actually seen the original movies, it would be fantastic. I'm sorry, even the Marshmallow Man was kind of frightening at one point.
Like the opening scene in the original Ghostbusters with the librarian ghost.
Oh,
that was scary.
Oh yeah, that was scary.
Like you can have when you first walk into the house, like into the scare zone, that could be like your first entry into scariness, is have her there, and all of a sudden she pops out and starts scaring everybody. Like, if you're gonna do scare, don't do the Frozen Empire.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they decided to do that, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm excited to see some of it. I know that it has
do a human centipede scares.
Oh God, no! Ew.
People throw
I know that the Insidious The Further has not been confirmed for Hollywood as of yet. By the looks of it, though, it looks like it's under construction in certain parts, so they are actually going to do that too. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do this house. It says, "Don't get trapped in The Further, as terrifying demons will try to ensnare you. The red-faced demon will lure you into his lair beyond the red door, so he can possess your living body. And the key face will unlock your fears with his key-tipped fingers to keep your soul trapped in The Further forever." I'm not sure where Keyface came from. Do you know
how
Keyface is?
Was he in the new movie?
He was not.
Then I have no idea who Keyface is.
Because I saw the last movie, The Red Door.
Well, then I know who Keyface is.
Which was kind of disturbing. That last movie was actually, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. But it was kind of,
Okay.
That's a genre that just kept going. So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining in for another episode of Come Play With Us, Danny, the horror movie review podcast, hosted by myself and my sister Megan. Check out I Know What You Did Last Summer if you haven't already. It's probably on streaming or YouTube or something where you could buy and rent and enjoy the
stare at
the just go to that one scene where she just, what are you waiting for? And spins around and just put that on.
Twirls.
Yeah, just the ballerina twirl and just put that on repeat. That's all you need to know. So,
We will be back next week, though.
we'll see you guys next time. Peace.